Hello there, everyone. Welcome to vlog number 8 of the Ready Persona 1 campaign. A lot happened.
You're telling me.
hmm
Oh man.
Where to begin? Where to begin?
Your son might be dead, or
I
might be
don't
in on it,
uh,
or
know.
might be mind controlled,
I
like we are.
I mean,
definitely cursed.
he might be cursed because he answered the phone, but he's not, and all we hear is ruffling, right, Hark?
Yeah.
hmm
Which means he could just be like I answered the phone, but like nothing. Either way, Gabe's gonna freak out and call his ex-wife and be like, "I want you to check on him."
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That too. I think I got it eventually though, but like then that scene with the Knave of Diamonds, that was like apart from so like what's his face doesn't know about it. Abe doesn't know that that scene happened.
No.
Okay. Because originally I thought like you dreamed it and then
Nope.
No.
no.
Abe has no idea that any of that. He
It's
had
like
no
our
idea.
characters are alive.
It's like his character has a mind of its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that means we have to interact with our characters. Like if we actually have get to meet them eventually.
Hmm. Well, what we have as evidence right now is that like 3 of our Pita characters are currently linked to 3 different real-world characters. So like Eve has done something in Yellow's character, and Forrest has done something with Chrono. And right now we have Gabe that has acted as Knave. So there's only one left.
What do you mean
So
that Forest does interact with Chrono? What do you mean by that?
with the apartment
So
scene,
Oh, right.
I was the
Mhm.
knife stabbing in my apartment, right?
So I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that you were actually Chrono.
So that might mean you're yellow if
Mhm.
you have those dreams, but
It could be, and then Kate could be
or
Odin.
maybe it's just that we happen to be each other and you're somebody else.
hmm Yeah, I don't know.
Yellow and Kate are very, very similar.
Yeah.
Basically, nothing would change. I get a sniper rifle now. Let's go.
Oh no, that'd be terrible. You get a little more than a sniper rifle. I will say that. I mean, you got a handgun and a bike you can just summon,
So sick.
So
among
anyways,
some other things.
I can reveal a little bit. I think I can do that because I think a lot of you are figuring out what's happening. I came up with this idea when I was writing down main elements of the story, and I thought it would be interesting for your individual characters to essentially come to life and have minds of
hmm
their own and like take over your bodies every once in a while in that specific persona. Then I thought about it more, and I've like it. The obvious thing would be to have Knave take over Abe's body, Yellow take over Forest's body. But what I thought about is like, if I really wanted to play around with the idea that you don't have any control of what happens to you when you go into this trance or whatever you want to call it, I thought it
hmm
would actually be better if another player played your
Yeah.
character, like took over your character's body. So, because I mean, I'm sure you all would still play in character just fine, but I thought
hmm
there was something to be really amusing if, like, for example, Knave suddenly just took over Gabriel's body as the Knave of Diamonds, and et cetera,
hmm
et cetera. So, and I thought it would be really like fun, especially when those things happen at the most inopportune times. If you're like all of a sudden your personality shifts in the most
Oh.
inopportune times. So anyway, I thought that would be
Yeah.
fun.
The scene with the scene with oh geez, uh, Forest,
Forest.
Forest being Chrono, and like having a knife and teleporting around and just murking those dudes. That's terrifying.
hmm
Could you imagine that? Would That's another question. Would we also have our powers while we're in somebody else's, or somebody else would have our powers while they're in our body?
The evidence says yes.
So,
There was
because
illusions used through Gabe, and you teleported because the footprints were
No,
jumping.
like I mean, like if, for example, Chrono comes into Forest, could
Uh,
Chrono use Forest's abilities?
oh, gotcha.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, has not been confirmed yet.
Has not been
Mm.
confirmed.
You're gonna have to find out.
True.
You're gonna have to find out.
So what we gotta do is first link everyone up to the right character. You're like, okay, if I'm gonna get
I'm-
kidnapped for being Abe, you're gonna be
Dude, has anyone been Odin yet? I don't think so.
no.
I hope I get Odin.
Yeah,
You're
I
probably
think
gonna
Kate gets Odin.
He wakes
Or
up. With
yeah,
a cool
what was I
spear.
thinking? Joey was yellow.
Yeah. I
Oh,
think
when did that
Kate's gonna
happen?
get Odin.
He's the sniper.
I was a sniper on top of the roof, and
Was that
yellow was
Odin? Wouldn't that be yellow?
sniping.
Huh?
Yep. So Ave was yellow,
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
and
sick.
then Forest would be Chrono.
It was definitely
Yeah.
somebody who had access to the black market. I don't know if Odin, Knave, or Chrono would have access to the black market necessarily.
I mean, it not necessarily doesn't mean that we are always that person. It just means it might be
Yeah.
a weird shift. I
Mhm.
mean, it could be
True.
like I said, Gabe's now at like full, or he's gonna find out what happens to his son, and now he's on full investigation mode. We're gonna have to jump universes and get Sam on the case now.
Hey, we might be able to do that soon.
But
So yeah.
But,
So the
yeah.
so the question becomes: is it like a weird curse thing that's actually just it's a curse in itself, or are people just randomly being mojied? Because I still think Ethan that was really clever. It could be that that she was just
Yeah.
moji and
I thought I'm
Mhm.
not sure if you guys saw it, but like in the very beginning when I noticed she'd lost her sight or her ability to speak, I was like, what if she's Moji? What if
Mhm.
what if the worlds are converging? And it's like, then it's like, no, she was just cursed.
I mean, the
so
thing is,
Moji's just taking over everyone.
Moji can still express himself though, even if he morphs. It's still expressing. These people cannot express in whatsoever unless
Or
they're close enough to
communicate.
Vegeta.
Mhm.
Moji
Yeah.
can communicate to some degree.
Yeah, that's true. Mhm.
Actually, does
Good
Moji
point.
know sign language, would you say?
I think he communicated with sign language before.
He
Well, he
communicated
communicated
Go ahead.
through like the
turning into the
emojis.
letters. Yeah, like because there's emojis
Mm.
that are just the letters. So that's what it did before. Yes.
Could he speak that emojicon language then? Like there's an actual language built with emojis. You can look
Oh,
it up. Like
I'd
there's
have to look it up. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to
Sounds
look
like
that
you
up.
would.
Maybe
Mm.
this is native
gonna-
language from his race, whatever his race is called. That's how that's their common language.
emojicons.
I do like how pretty clutch every character. I think a lot of characters had moments to shine, like especially with investigating what's happening. So obviously Gabe, with all of his really amazing magic roles and investigation roles, the fact that he happened to still have Cade's microphone or bug on him was really, really useful. I didn't even think about that. I'm like, you know what, you're right. Like, that's pretty cool. The other thing that I thought was really ironic, and I don't know if this is something that will get addressed in the next session, but I hope it does, is that Cade / Kana was talking about, I just want to be right. I just want to be right. And it's, if, I'm not suggesting, but if Rook is behind this, technically speaking, Cade was right all
Yeah.
along, by suspecting him of doing shady things.
True.
Technically, he was right and everybody else was wrong. Technically.
Yep.
So I'm just throwing out there. Throwing it out there.
Ooh. Yeah, it's true. Oh no.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Abe is 100% trusting Rook, but me myself, I'm having my
Joey
doubts as well.
has doubts of Rook. Okay.
I'm starting to have doubts. Something feels off.
you-
It's too much coincidence.
Do you remember what there was something that Rook said to you when I think it was during the bar. I think it was at the bar. He said something to you that I'm not sure if you caught that relates to some of the stuff that's going on. But if you don't remember it, that's okay.
I mostly remember that his view of the world was really similar to the view of Kate. So there was some strange things there, but there might I can't remember. If
Okay.
there was something really specific about this. But
All I remember was getting like a 26 on a deception check, and Hark was like, he's not lying. He's telling the truth. He's really honest. You know, it's like,
Thing is, he could be honest. Someone could be controlling him.
Yeah.
That's the That's the thing. Gabriel's like, look, it's either if it is him, we gotta stop him.
He
But if it's not,
when you're doing lie detecting stuff, you were specifically seeing if he was lying about trying to hurt people with the Ferris wheel.
Mhm.
And I can tell you that he was not lying.
Yeah.
He was
Mhm.
trying to save people from the
saving.
Ferris wheel.
Mhm.
But it's
Mhm.
I was specifically talking about the Ferris wheel incident. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that.
Oh, 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 oh.
Oh man.
Damn.
Actually, that is an interesting question. I just side tangent, a little fun thing. If one of your characters, or both if you want, if one of your characters went evil, what would be their evil plan, do you think? Just a little fun little
Ah.
question for you all.
I assume our real life characters.
Either or. Like if Odin or
Cade.
Gabe, you can do both.
It would
if you want.
almost, for Cade, it would almost certainly be that he has some sort of like, I'm going to change society for the better form of justification. But honestly, he'd just be a rampager. He would be pretty smart, but also just really deadly and brutal. And guy be kind of chaotic.
riding the Minotaur, the mechanical Minotaur.
Yeah, have a Minotaur running around. That would be all his minions.
Wow. Hmm.
I
Like-
think
Yeah,
for
go ahead.
Gabe, I think for Gabe, he would just I think you use any if he was like if Gabe went evil, it would be like him using any means necessary to get to the top of like the Wands faction, and then to like basically just control everything and go full on. This is my now. I'm in control.
My kids are
finally.
living with me.
Yeah.
I'm finally in control of things.
Mhm.
What about you, Joey?
Yeah, it's hard. With Ave, I don't really see any way Ave would willingly become evil in some way. The only thing that I see is that he taking away his free will is really annoying for him. And that's something that's happening. So maybe in that regards, if people start to, well, if he goes further and further and eventually becomes a loose cannon that takes away all his free will back and just starts questioning everything that's lawful in nature itself, and just full chaos mode starts to go crazy just in his own thoughts, I guess. Knave is pretty simple. Knave would just, you would never suspect Knave was evil. Some organizations will be taking over the world, and in the end, it's just Knave that's sitting on a throne, having played chess with them all. Will all be his big plan.
Like real life villains.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. We're gonna not step on that landmine.
Mm-hmm.
I was interesting, Cade, because well, what did you say earlier when your reasoning for going crazy or not going
But
crazy?
he would justify it somehow. He would say like, "Oh, this society needs to change.
The
Society's
society needs to change. That would be Forest's reasoning too.
corrupt."
Mm-hmm.
Like if Forest went evil somehow, it'd be the society is like weak or is not just or anything, and they would need to change it from the ground up, which would probably inquire like mind manipulation and everything. And I don't have those abilities. I thought about
That's,
taking a few, and I did take one technically.
You would
But
have a
it's like
serial
a-
killer as a
some
right
big-
hand man, though.
Yeah.
That's
That's
big
certain.
cleansing yourself talking about, and we've seen that before in our world, sadly enough.
Yeah. Yellow's just a
Mhm.
hard chaotic neutral, so they
Mhm.
can't turn evil. They're not good either. They're just out there.
Mhm.
So no
Yeah.
evil plan there. Okay. That'd be interesting though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Rewinding way
Oh,
back
man.
to the beginning of the session when we were voting for Loki, Knave, or Captain Crunch.
Mhm.
I guess I just want to share that I thought I wasn't expecting to vote for Loki, but when people were like, Loki needs to be knocked down a peg, Chrono
Yeah.
was looking at that like, no, Loki doesn't feel like he's above people. Loki feels like he's below people. And people
Mm.
still feel like they need to knock him down. And Chrono and Cade are so like related to that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
or in that conversation was like, oh, why don't you maybe you shouldn't vote for him because he's doing all these bad things. But Odin, also Gabriel, knows like, no, he needs. Yeah, I should talk to him that he shouldn't do all this evil things, but like he Gabe knows that Raphael needs to know that his dad, even if he just thinks this is virtual dad, is on his side,
Hmm.
and it's something that he needs.
Yeah, I loved how poetic it was. It's in the final decision. It was just Nave that had the opportunity to just smack Loki off the first
Yes.
place. I was like, yes. Oh, that's the biggest victory that the Knave could get for this entire thing because he never wanted to win it. He didn't care at all. But just a juicy little, I'm gonna take this away from Loki was like, mwah, chef's kiss.
What I was gonna do after after Loki realizes that his attempt to manipulate you to say his name failed, if for whatever reason you did decide to say Loki won, that also was gonna mess with him too. Because I think I was gonna plan so that his reaction would be, wait, why? You're planning something, and he would just be obsessed, like from that point forward, moving. Why did he? What? So I was ready. I was prepared either way, whichever direction you went.
Yeah,
So.
I mulled it over a little bit, but
Yeah,
in the end, it was more beautiful to just the quick victory.
Yeah,
I mean, I've noticed that everybody's kind of dogpiling on Loki, and it's kind of at the Knaves. I mean, Yellow has started to notice that the Knave is really pounding on Loki, and I don't want to deal with spoilers, but I think you're gonna have some resistance from Yellow in the future.
Yeah, because it's still piece after piece that the Knave is just he keeps on playing the game, and right now he's still constantly gaining those little victories, and it's in his mind it's just all going to plan. It's beautiful.
So is the
Yeah,
reason why
as soon as things go wrong.
something to pop in my head is the reason why Gabriel is Ave is because in both in real life and in the game that's Raphael's nemesis.
Oh no!
when I was assigning who took over who, I was just trying to be very strategic about which combination would I find the most entertaining, honestly. And like Sage said, I was trying to who would be most entertaining if I gave him Chrono? Oh, Forrest. So Forrest was like probably the first person.
Yeah.
The first person. And then I went from there, like who would be the next person that I think would be the most interesting, and just process of elimination until everybody was assigned.
The scene of Forrest teleporting around with essentially a kitchen knife murking people. I don't know why. I love that.
It's
teleporting
beautiful.
people off of the balcony. Like,
yeah.
Like Forrest as a character would not want that to happen, but I want it to it to happen because it looks cool in my head at least.
Yeah.
It feels a Nightcrawler from the X-Men.
Yeah.
Just flashing through the room and working everyone.
It's a cute little gold dragonborn with a kitchen knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's normally this lovable thing would never hurt anybody.
This beautiful classical music in the background as well.
Yeah.
I liked also the image of Gabe as the Knave of Diamonds, just kind of being really flashy, and because the Knave of Diamonds has his own really good sense of passion. Yep. And Gabe he doesn't, but it's definitely like part of his charm. And so I feel like the Knave would just go with it, would just own it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, it's a good thing that the Ave didn't get that potion in the round.
Yeah. He was able to dodge that pretty well.
Because it said what it was like 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. tomorrow.
1 a.m. the next morning, the next day, more than 24 hours later. Yeah.
And then no matter what the thing Gabe would have been like, yeah, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. The same with that bug, because that was such a random idea that Knave had for just messing with the kidnappers. Like, yeah, you're being listened to by Yellow. This is not going your way.
Well,
And then,
what I liked was that pointing out the bug came from Joey.
Mhm.
He was the one who mentioned, "Oh yeah, like I think yellow might have bugged me," and I took that as an opportunity to finally
Yeah.
reveal, because I felt like Cade's bug has been on Gabe long enough
Mhm.
without being detected, and I said, okay, so this is the point where Gabe realizes that he's been bugged this whole time,
Mhm.
because that needed
And
to happen.
That also put the bug in a really positive view right now, because
Yeah.
it was really
did.
useful.
Cade
so-
was right the whole time.
Mhm.
Maybe he is right and you all are wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what'll happen at the very end of this session, or the end of the campaign. You just realize Cade was
All
right
become
along.
serial
We're
killers.
all
Sage,
I'm already close, so
I assume Cade wasn't gonna answer until Gabe.
Oh, he was
brought
gonna
up,
lie
like,
through his teeth.
until brought up like, if you did, you're a hero, and he was like,
Really?
yeah.
baby steps. Baby steps. Even if he's heroic by enticing him or encouraging him with a carrot, that's still something.
Mhm.
That's still something.
it's not about
That's right.
intentions, it's about outcomes, right?
Exactly.
Now I have to build things so we don't fall asleep.
I'm really interested in how Forrest decides to use Cade, if at all.
Oh no, it would not be using Cade in any shape or sense. I've already mentioned before, like having like a stewardship sort of thing, relationship going on with Cade.
I feel like if anything, and Ethan can interpret this however he wants, but I feel like if anything, yellow, Forrest would use Cade to make it so he doesn't feel guilty anymore for turning Cade, because he does feel guilty for I made that. So maybe this is his chance to make something else instead of that.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm wondering if
that is
anything
exactly it. I mean, Forrest does not see them as using Cade to right the wrong. They're just redeeming their own
right
actions from the past.
actions from the past. That's what I'm thinking too.
what I'm wondering is, like, will there ever be a point where that breaks? Will there ever be a
Mm.
point where it's like, I have a tool and now I'm upset enough to use it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I do not see that happening.
Mm.
I acknowledge
Probably
that it could be a possibility in the future. But me as a player, I don't see that happening currently.
Totally
Now,
fine.
in 10 sessions, I might be eating those words, but we'll see when we get there, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the most I think.
I know things. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I think at the very most, I might make you do something, and then like there's like a lesson behind it at least, and it would never be like it. It's kind of like the classic if there's like the mentor figure that makes you do something and you never know what it means.
Wax
until it's
on, wax off. Yeah.
Yeah, wax on, wax off, or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's the favor still, which is like, I just owe you
There's
a
still
favor.
a favor. Yeah.
There
And
is a
then there's
favor.
the side that's like, I don't know what to do with myself, so I'm just going to ask you. And I think those are two
Yeah.
separate things.
Do you
Mhm.
think that advice that I gave you was like, don't always come to me. Try to think of like, what would Forrest do?
I
Like, do
think
you
the
think
problem
that
with that is Kate doesn't actually understand Forrest.
Mm.
Forrest is like an anomaly to him.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Forrest is an anomaly.
Yeah.
By the
So-
way, can we just one little appreciation for the poetic coincidence that happened today, where both me and Kyle pulled the magician, and we both played the magician.
Yeah.
That's right.
What are the odds?
You both played the magician. Yes, that's true. I think that's very
so
cool.
Crazy.
Uh,
Wow.
I
Just
keep
wow.
forgetting to use hero points.
I'm very tempted that when we have whichever session is closest to April Fool's Day, I'm tempted to just be like, all right, everybody drew the magician. Everyone just pulled the magician this turn.
What?
What? I drew that?
Could we have like an April Fool's session where we just get together and like film like like a totally stupid session that's like a spin-off, not necessarily like a spin-off, but like it's like a weird session that isn't canon and like
Yeah.
Slice
That
of
would- I
life
think that would be
episode,
fun.
the beach
If we-
episode.
If we had time, I would be all for that normally. But I will say
Yeah, you
that there's plenty of opportunities to do that for Endgame. Lots of opportunities to do that.
Yeah.
But I'll talk more about Endgame next year.
And
So-
when that is a thing.
All right,
That's the
fam.
thing.